供たち出動。
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 48 of LostinTranslationmon. I'm May.
And I'm Jay.
This week we watched Steel Angel Shakuamon,
Or Stone Soup.
and Gigantic Ultimate Qinglongmon.
Or Kyoto Dragon.
The first episode that we're watching this week is called Stone Soup, or Steel Angel Shakuamon. What do you think will happen in this episode?
So I think that Shakuamon is the last Jogress we're waiting for. It's the what's we call it? TK and Iori's one.
Yep.
A Steel Angel makes sense. You know, you got your big dude with armor mixing with an actual angel. As for Stone Soup, I've got actually nothing. That is such a weird non sequitur name. I really have basically nothing to say about it. I wish I could come up with something clever, but I don't got nothing.
So do you think more Holy Stones will be destroyed in this episode? Or do you think that they finally stop them?
There are 2 left?
I think
believe.
so.
I think it'll... No, I think that all the Holy Stones are getting destroyed. It's gonna happen. Like, they're not gonna stop it. But the Jogress will probably happen over, one of them, over a battle where one's getting destroyed.
And what do you think Shakuamon looks like besides Steel Angel?
It's rough. I guess it's primarily Angemon, and then you're gonna just stick like, what's it called? You're gonna stick
Ankylomon,
like scales over it, like dinosaur, and it'll have like a mace, like a physical mace. That makes sense.
So he uses the mace to attack?
One would hope, not that he just has it for display.
Right, so you think it's like a staff mace, or just like a mace as in a knight would have?
Like a knight would have, like a weapon.
Alright.
I hear your derision. I know I'm probably wrong.
And do you think the Jogress activation will be like good, or do you think it'd be like silly, or do you think it'd be just they're trying to force it too hard?
Look, I think they've actually given this one a good deal of time, so it has a fairly decent likelihood of being okay. Like, I know that was really qualifying a lot of things there. But I think that it will be fine.
And do you think it'll be a good episode?
For whatever reason, I'm feeling really optimistic about this TK and Iori thing, even though by all accounts I shouldn't, but I do. So, yeah, sure, it'll be a good episode.
What do you think you'll rate it?
It's a fairly rough question, but I'm going to, gonna go with a 7.
Okay, so you're optimistic, but not like super optimistic.
Well, yeah, I don't think it will be garbage terrible, and I don't even think it'll be middle of the road. I think it will be quite good.
And what do you think Blackwall Greymon's going to be doing this episode? Still being
trying
angsty?
to beat. Yeah, of course he is. It's his name. Can't be Angstwall Greymon if you're not being angsty currently.
The second episode is called Kyoto Dragon or Gigantic Ultimate Qinglongmon. What do you think will happen in this episode?
Oh, wow, Kyoto Dragon. Okay, well, I can't give you too many more specifics than the last Holy Stone is blown up, and Qinglongmon somehow ends up in actual Kyoto, and the kids have to go to the real world to fight it. That seems like a fair assessment to me.
So you think he's a bad guy?
No, I think he's just like a random force of destruction. Like, it's not his fault. He's not evil. He's just probably a fairly mindless, destructive beast.
Right. So do you think the kids win or do they lose or?
I think that they will not yet win. I don't think they're going to fully straight out lose, but I don't think they're going to, like, how do I put this? Yeah, I think they'll begin fighting, and this will be the episode where they lose initially, and then they might stop losing later.
And do you think, because Blackwall Greymon has previously, assuming this is the dragon that we've seen, Blackwall Greymon says he wants to fight him. Do you think he fights him, and do you think he wins or loses?
I think that he will try to fight him and get smashed.
So do you think Blackwall Greymon's dead?
No, not at all. I think he'll be even more angsty about having lost, because that's the kind of guy he is.
Do you think the kids will team up with Blackwall Greymon to beat the dragon?
That actually sounds like a fair assessment, to be honest. I mean, Blackwall Greymon isn't inherently evil, so I don't see a reason why that wouldn't necessarily be a thing that happens. At the same time, you've got Iori and Davis, who at various times have been very, very, I don't know, unforgiving, and I guess, especially Iori, I'm not really cool with the idea of them teaming up with him, and Iori be totally cool with it after the whole Ken deal.
Well, we've already shown him that he's forgotten about that.
I know that, but like he did argue for a long time, and it'd be a really quick turnaround. Be like, oh no, he's fine. This bad guy's okay.
Right. So do you think it'll be a bit of a struggle, but they maybe do they think it's in their best interest, or do you think they're still struggling to fight together?
I mean, it is in their best interest. That's not untrue. But I don't know how they feel because it's 2 episodes away.
Right. And so do you think it'll be a good episode?
Look, they're gonna go back into the real world. You know what? I think a lot of stuff isn't gonna make sense. I sense that I'm going to be complaining about this episode a lot. So no, I don't think it's gonna be good.
What do you think you'll rate it?
I think I'm gonna rate it a 5.
Wow, so you think it's going to be like quite a good episode and then like a mediocre episode?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And anything else you want to say about this episode?
No, I think that's about right. That's about it.
All right, well then on to the show.
Excellent.
For Diginews this week, I mentioned this in the last part of the last episode. I edited in a bit of an update, but the actual Chapter 3 poster was revealed, and I can't show Jay because there's spoilers on it for Try Chapter 2.
You should show me this instant.
No, not now. But yeah, so that's the thing. It exists. It's good. It's very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing Chapter 3, and I guess Jay will also want to watch chapter 2 when we finish 02.
I mean, if I have to, right?
Yeah, but you do.
Oh well, in that case, I don't have a choice.
The second bit of Diginews is from Wu Qinglong, who says that Bakumon in Next Order is confirmed to be the same one from Try. So there's a Bakumon in the Next Order DLC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
is it before or after?
I don't know. All I know is that it's the same one that appears in Try.
So that implies that Try exists in the same universe.
Yes.
But that makes no sense.
Well, all Digimon series exist in like parallel worlds, I guess.
So she's a planeswalker?
I guess. I mean, Ryo's been in different worlds.
Oh, this is confusing.
Ryo has traveled between 2 different worlds of Digimon.
And he's a planeswalker. So he's Jace, and
Yeah.
she's either like.
Dude, she's Chandra.
She's either Chandra or Liliana.
She's orange. No, she's Chandra. She's orange.
No, but we don't know. Maybe she's evil.
Maybe, we don't know.
That's why she could be. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I guess. For LostinTranslationmon, hopefully we're going to start putting some video Let's Play games because my PS2 component cable came in the mail, so that is compatible with my game capture card that I have. So that'll be a thing. I want to do a Let's Play in Digimon World 4 because I've never played it before and I own it and I've always wanted to because Doraemon's in it and Vmon and I love them so much.
You and your silly birds with bow ties.
Yeah. And I want like Jay to play at least like the first little like hour or half an hour of Digimon World 1.
You will never take me alive.
But I definitely want you to play Digimon World 2003 because it is, like, until Cyber Sleuth, the best Digimon game.
Digimon World 2003. Okay,
Yeah.
and now I know what to avoid.
No. Hello, so this is a quick and very sad update to Diginews. So we recorded this episode on April 7th, and we're going to be releasing it April 9th. So that's probably today if you're listening to it as it comes out. But today is April 8th, and a few hours ago we found out that Wada Koji passed away age 42 on April 3rd. It's very sad news. We knew that he was in and out of hospital and battling cancer, so it's very sad. I remember when I first heard Butterfly, and I had listened to the TV size version over and over again when I first found it, because I just loved it so much. It was just so much different to what we had from the dub of Digimon. And then I was completely overjoyed when I found the full version. I remember when I first heard the full version in its entirety when I was walking home from school one day, and near the end, Watakoji whispers something, and it's just, I did not expect it, so it gave me a fright, and I remember just jumping and squealing because it gave me a fright, and I'll always remember that. But it's truly sad. For Postmon Pat, first of all, we have some actual physical mail that arrived, and it was very exciting. I was very excited. Yay. It made my morning.
If you want to make May's day, send her stuff.
So what was in this package? It was a really nice package. We have the Aquilamon and Tailmon Joggerus to Sylphimon transforming toy. The Tailmon's hideous, but the Sylphimon looks all right. I think I showed you a picture of what it looked like, didn't I?
Not so sure.
And also volume 1 and 2 of the Digimon Frontier manga. I think it's like, is it called manhwa when it's I think it's like Korean is manhwa. I think it's a manhwa. Anyway, but
Like how Korean weeaboos are called Koreaboos.
are they?
Yes.
Oh, I never knew that. I learn something new every day. So the strange thing is, for a lot of Bandai Asia stuff, so we Frontier and Tamers are called 03 and 04 because of 02.
Universes.
Yes, and they're not, but yeah, so it says Frontier, it says Digimon 04 instead of Digimon Frontier on the manhwa. We also got some Digimon marbles, so that's cool, and a little Koshiro baggie. It comes with and there was also a Sunamon like card that you pull back and it moves. So I was playing that with that at work.
Oh, so it should be it should be 003 and 0004.
What?
Just keep adding zeros. Like season 1 didn't have a
Oh,
zero
yeah.
in front of it, so you just keep adding zeros.
Of course. And yeah, so we got a watch. That's pretty cool. And I like watches. I'm gonna wear it to work tomorrow. And we got some Digimon Digibattle cards. And we got like this huge pile of the Digimon Digiman comics. And I was
comics.
so like I was looking through them briefly at work. I mean, it wasn't like bludging my work or anything. It was when I'm like my code was compiling. So
That's if XKC's
yeah, it's
taught
true.
me anything, it's just
Yeah.
say that you're compiling and you can get away with murder.
Yeah, that is actually what we do. Not get away with murder because that's naughty.
We
We
should
don't
try
murder.
at least.
We do Digimon Adventure try. So yeah, so these comics are strange because first of all, the D3s are like actually look like colored in potatoes, and I'll upload some photos of them because they're just beautiful. And it's like, oh, I think it's diverging from the 02 plot from what I've seen it, because for some reason the Ken is still dressed as the Kaiser and they're fighting Arukenimon and Mummymon, and Angstmon's there, and instead of holy stones they're like tablets. And
one of them was like a tablet.
No, but I think all of them are. And like for some there are black rings still, and they work on people, I think.
That seems pretty sick. I'm not sure why you never really tried it, showed it to the kids.
And it's like there's like this factory that puts black rings on Digimon, and it's amazing. I love it so much. But yeah, so thank you, Mac. Thank you for the presents. I've put some of them in my collection. I'll put more of them in my collection after recording, and I'll probably read them in bed tonight because I don't know. I really like Digimon.
That kind of nerd is why.
Yeah. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
On to other Postmon Pat stuff. On Gmail, Fexmith says that they laughed really hard at the April Fool's episode, and now his throat hurts. And then he thanks for taking the time to do the April Fool's episode. And the main pain was watching the Dogmons, believe me.
It was really bad.
That was an event. And then Fexmith says that they are Team Holydramon.
That's incorrect.
Though unfortunately, I just checked the current results of the poll, and Fanimon is winning.
We swung back?
56 votes to 52.
Yes! That is huge.
That's really sad.
That's like we gained... What was it? We gained more than 10 votes to your, like, 2. Because we caught up, like, the 5 difference and then busted away another 5. Oh,
that's really sad.
That's so sick.
Really sad.
Keep it up. Ophanimon is clearly the correct choice. It is a yin-yang. It is a whole mirrored situation. Light and hope. It's what it is. It's why they did Angelwoman and Angemon in the first place.
So I've looked at the comments, and we have a comment that I think really takes Jay's view and just really perfects it in a way. So there are a few words that I can't say, and I can't bother censoring them, so I'm just going to come up with another word. So I'm just going to look at the pin board next to me, and I'm going to pick out a word at random. I think
you want to go with flipping or sit.
No, I'm going to find... okay, so there's one... let's see one that would work. All right, so there's a ticket for Jeffrey Rush doing a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. So I'm going to say Jeffrey Rushing and Jeffrey Rush. All right.
Okay then.
Jeffrey Rush Holydramon. Jeffrey Rushing Pink Dragon. Jeffrey Rush off.
Okay, yeah, that you're right. That really did boil down my feelings into a nice digestible package.
Yeah, I thought you'd appreciate that.
Oh, that pink dragon is awful.
I like it.
Yeah,
And I agree. And P3 Nathan said in the comments that he chooses Holydramon because it fits Tailmon more, and how the adventure ultimate evolutions seem to represent the child Digimon more than any of the other ones. So it does represent the dog because it is a dog dragon.
I mean, I guess maybe kinda, but like it doesn't make sense for like Edgewoman in general. It only makes sense in the context of this like particular character.
Well, that's why we have a poll, which
And
you can
one I'm
vote on,
winning.
and I will link that in the show notes and the description because it is an important thing, and Holydramon should have more votes because Holydramon is best.
Sylphimon forever. Keep it up.
Did you say Sylphimon? Yes,
Yeah,
no,
it's
I
keep it
agree.
up.
I agree. Sylphimon's much better.
No, Sylphimon's really lame.
No, I will
no
fight
fanny
you.
forever. Keep it
I
up.
will fight you on this. John Summers has also emailed us, and he says Holy Angemon should have won against Black or Greymon, as he was able to take on Paimon himself. I think that I mean I get what he's saying here, but I think Blackwall Greymon is stronger than Paimon.
You have to keep in mind that while Piedmon had a set limit of strength, which he was very strong, that instead Blackwall Greymon has the power of angst, which is to say he's as strong as the story needs him to be.
Also, I think Blackwall Greymon has less of a type advantage because it's even though it's still a virus type, he's a fire virus type, and Paimon is a dark virus type. So that's another
virus type, if you will.
Yeah, but I mean, he almost kind of got him, and then Blackwall Greymon was like, no, and he didn't have Metal Garurumon and War Greymon to kick him into the gate, which is what happened to Paimon. So not necessarily. Anyway, John Summers continues to say that there are many things that he dislikes about Zero Two, but Shakuamon is not one of them, and he says that it's good to have like a representation of an angel that's not the Western representation of the angel, how they have all the wings.
I mean, I guess.
And it's Chokuamon's based on a dogu, which is a very ancient clay figure. And do you know what one they look like?
I have a general sense of it.
Yeah, I'll send you a link just in case.
Yeah, I know those things.
Yeah,
that's exactly where I thought it would.
It also looks like Shakuamon, especially the first image there. And he originates from an ancient object, which dates back to like thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And it's basically a prehistoric angel with armor made from Ankylosaurus. So it's literally if you put Ankylomon and Angemon together.
I mean, kind of. I mean, it was made of metal, right? It wasn't exactly like a dinosaur. So it's a bit of a stretch, I would say.
Yeah.
But whatever. You just have to deal with it at some stage.
He also says that not all angels are winged beasts. Like how Seraphim's are just like basically full of like of holy fire. Cherubim are dragons, and Orphanum, which I guess Orphanimon's based on, is really strange looking and has like circles around it.
Well, I've always been really interested in the like classical idea of what an angel was sort of meant to look like, where the halo wasn't like a weird floating metal ring like Sonic would collect above their head, but was instead like this giant like ring of bone that extended from like one side of the head in a huge circle around to the other side.
So that's what I've just linked you. I think that's an Orphanum.
Yeah, and what is this? No. You've just linked me a thing with eyes around it.
Yeah, but it's that kind of thing. I was trying to find a.
No, there's I'm thinking like I'm trying to see if I can find the picture of it. Yeah, more like this. I mean, this is a crap version of it, but this is more what I mean. I guess we're putting all these in the show notes because these make no sense.
Yeah, so we'll be linking whatever we're talking about in the show notes.
More, no, just like this. Just very simple, like just the bone just goes around.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I like the theory of that one.
It looks like a Homestuck.
No, because the theory
Are
goes...
you sure it's not a Homestuck?
It's not a Homestuck.
You're a Homestuck.
I am. The theory
Stop being
goes,
Homestuck rubbish.
dude, let me finish my thought. The theory goes that when Lucifer Morningstar was cast out of heaven, they broke the halo, and that's why you have the classic image of the devil with the two horns, because it's just that halo broken down the middle.
I know, I like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
John Summers continues to say that Shakurmon is useful to the team as he is a dedicated defensive tank. And that's fair enough, because he does. He sucks in the... It's a bit OP, but he sucks in Blackwell Greymon's thing, but I guess we'll get to that more later.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously very useful. There's no arguing with that.
Yeah. SP says, what if the reason the world wasn't in balance after giving up the crest is because a ninth crest was needed, as in the crest of kindness?
The answer is Qinglongmon would have said that, but he didn't.
Yeah.
It's really simple.
Yeah, I feel like, Qinglongmon explained a lot, so I'm pretty sure he would have mentioned that. SP is also curious about how you feel about Shakurmon, and says that he doesn't like his design, and the Jogress was anticlimactic because the Digivices didn't glow, and there wasn't confrontation. Issue wasn't resolved in this episode. I disagree with that because we had like 3 episodes about them, so we already had the confrontation, and it is sort of like implied that they had that power during that time, but it wasn't really needed. They understood each other, but it wasn't needed at the time that happened. But now, since Iori does understand him, and there wasn't a need for it when he said, "Oh, I understand you now." It was only now that happened. What do you think?
As far as Shakurmon goes, I just don't like his design because while I understand the theory of combining the two and you've kind of got this different look to it. I don't want that. That's not what we've had so far. What we've had so far, especially in Peldramon's situation, is an absolute and direct like mashing of the two. It's not theoretical. It's active. Like I can't imagine. I mean, especially if it's meant to be made for toys, right? Like, how are you going to transform your weird dinosaur into this, Coke can of a Digimon?
But they found a way.
They probably did. It was like that terrible Sylphimon one.
I like
That was
Sylphimon.
yeah, no, but that toy was so bad.
I think Shakurmon is probably like that'll be easy because it's just like you could just curl it up into like a little case. Like that's how they did Talmon's head in the Sylphimon one. It's a separate like head that you put on, and the head's like takes most of it inside itself.
I guess.
But the Talmon one is. Have you seen what
I'm not sure.
I'll find a picture. It's
But the
beautiful.
point is that I don't like it. I just don't like it viscerally. It just feels really wrong. Like there were so many ways they could have gone about it, and they just said, "This is hard. Let's just not bother." You know?
Yeah, I've sent you a picture of what the Talmon looks like, by the way.
At least that's the sense I generally get from it. That thing has a huge head.
Yeah, so it's sort of the legs fold up, and and the head goes around like the body and the head and the wings.
It's huge.
It's a bit awkward.
It's Donald Trump large. But it's got tiny hands, just like Donald Trump.
Doesn't even have front paws.
Oh my god, it doesn't have arms. And it has chicken legs, just like
the Sylphimon looks fine, and the Aquilamon looks fine though. But the Sylphimon's like mouth is kind of weird. Like it looks kind of like a GI Joe or Arnold Schwarzenegger figure for some reason.
Yeah, it does look like that, huh? Wow. Yeah. He looks like he looks exactly like RoboCop.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I was thinking of. SP suggests that Iori was harsh with Ken because Ken is a chosen and he should know better. And Blackwall Greymon may not come back to life if after he dies because he's not like a Digimon that'll go back to an egg. He's just a black tower, and we've seen that those just break and explode.
Well, he probably deserves it, to be honest. And I don't know. It feels weird that he's got such strong convictions about something, and then like the moment it's challenged, he's like, it's the moment it's brought up in a slightly different context. It's just completely given up. I don't know. It seemed like a character defining trait that is immediately shown to be like really weakly held.
Then SP says that he wants to know if you like the plot reveals in this episode, but I guess we'll talk more about that part later.
I'm gonna tell you in general, kinda, in theory, yes, but then in practice,
yeah, I agree with you. It feels like they should have said this much earlier.
Not only should they said it much earlier, but it's like I've written down in my notes that it's a university lecture. Like, it's so boring.
It's too many words. Like sometimes, you'll get explanations and it'll be interesting, but this explanation was just, different establishing shots of the kids and this giant dragon.
Yeah.
And, after about 10 minutes, you start saying, okay, we've had all those fancy shots now. I don't care.
And it is all like really important stuff that has been really meaningful to the season, and it's so late.
Yeah. And they do kind of like throw it all at you at once instead of, little itty bits. And I guess maybe they tried to do that with explaining why they couldn't get to perfect, but they should have broken it up because it was just like, oh my gosh, he's still going. At least they added sass in the English version.
No, I hated that. I hated that even more.
I know, me too. Me too.
God.
That was the main differences, but anyway, we'll get to that later. We've got more messages.
The main differences. It was terrible.
On Tumblr, I don't have a Tumblr, says that Blackwall Greymon reminds them of Magna Defender from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy.
Lost Galaxy.
I never watched that, so I don't know what that is.
I only ever watched like the first 4 episodes, and I can't remember really any of it.
It looks like a Homestuck.
I don't know what it actually looks like.
I did a Google.
You did a Google. Well, when I was a kid, I had the first VHS of that, so oh no, that actually looks quite familiar.
Yeah, it also looks like Blackwall Greymon, so I see where they're coming from.
Yeah, it's cool. No, I used to have a toy of this thing, I think.
I bet you did. Are you sure it wasn't a Blackwall Greymon? I really want the Blackwall Greymon, goddammit.
No, I used to have the oh crap, I don't know what I had. There was I believe I had a toy of one of the Zords from this show, and it looked a lot like Magna Defender.
I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers because it was too violent.
Well, you're lame, huh?
My parents are super lame. They also told me I couldn't watch Digimon, but like that stopped me.
Should have. That would have saved us all.
I remember like watching Digimon in like the study when I was like, I think it was a stage where I was too cool for Digimon because I was 12. And
you were too cool for a lot of stuff when you were 12.
Yeah, I was like, I'm so cool for this, but I was like sneaking watching it, and like my dad came in and he thought I was doing something bad because I hid it and minimized the screen. And I said, "What?" And we had a huge fight because I didn't want to tell him I was watching Digimon.
Yeah, I would be pretty embarrassed if I was you too.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing anything. Go away. Also on Tumblr, 40% T says, "Hi, Man Jay. This podcast has been amazing so far, and I really appreciate everything you do for it.
We appreciate you, 40% tea.
40%.
40. Oh, okay. It's not cheap tea. It's just weak tea.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you too, weak tea.
They want to know what we feel was the most satisfying evolutions and dissatisfying evolutions. And most satisfying, I really liked like the crest evolutions, like Mimi's evolution, where like to get Lilymon. I feel like that was good. I like Lilymon. I like the crest because it was like, oh, this moment. No, actually, I've changed my mind. The best evolution was Joe's. When we got Ikakumon to get to Zudamon for the first time, that was really dramatic, and it really showed you, hey, this is what the crest is.
Yeah. Do you think they mean? Do you think they mean like the situation, or do you think they mean like the evolution itself? I believe they gave an example.
Oh, for example, I was super satisfied with the evolution of Angemon to Holy Angemon, extremely dissatisfied with Angemon and Ankylomon's Jogros evolution.
See, I think they mean like what the thing looks like.
Ah, no, I think, but when they say with the evolution, well, then what am I?
Like Holy Angemon's thing was never really that amazing, but it looks great.
Yeah.
See, I think that one of the most satisfying ones visually, and this is gonna probably take you out of left field and everyone else, was XVmon.
What do you mean?
Like, you suffered for so long through armor evolutions. And also, that's another thing, is that they disqualify armor evolutions, so I don't think it has to do with the situation. I think it has to do with how they appear.
All right.
After we messed around with armor evolutions for so long, I think that seeing like what regular evolution would look like again with these new kids, I think was great. And XVmon was the one that's like perfect. The other two are fine.
Hawkmon to Aquilamon is good because we had Biomon to Birdramon, which is just disgusting.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. I mean, it's not disgusting. It just. I think Aquilamon would be better adult for Birdramon as well. Like I think Aquilamon should be the adult for both Biomon and Hawkmon because it just makes sense.
No, it's Biomon's is this like pink bird. It doesn't fit that either. It's quite different.
But I like Hawkmon to Aquilamon. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does absolutely. But at the same time, it's just kind of fine. Like It feels like there's a missing step in the middle.
I can't even think what I find is dissatisfying.
Um, I think that I think Ankylomon's actually really boring. I mean, obviously Birdramon is one
It's
of
a
the ones you find
dinosaur.
unsatisfying. That's a
Dinosaur.
legitimate answer.
I like dinosaurs. But
Oh,
yeah, I think I'm dissatisfied with Birdramon.
you can like dinosaurs, but like here's the deal, right? You have an armadillo who turns into something that digs and something that swims. It's like drill based and everything, and all of a sudden, and it digs and stuff, and then all of a sudden it evolves into a dude, like a dinosaur with like a tail hammer, and you're like, what happened?
Oh, okay. Point taken.
Where did this come from? And I think that's what I'm taking the question. Obviously, there's probably no correct way to take the question necessarily, but that's the way I have interpreted it. I assume you're saying Berdramon's the worst one?
Yep.
Because like it's this tiny pink adorable bird turns into a giant monster for no reason. That doesn't even look that good.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like I used to like Birdramon as a kid, but I just find it's like maybe. I mean, though, I'm not entirely sure. I love Togemon, but what I'm not sure how I feel about Togemon coming from Palmon.
Yeah, but for whatever reason, I don't take as much issue with it because it's like I don't know. It's still I want to say it's still a plant, but the other one's still a bird. But like at least I don't know. It's kind of fun, and its personality doesn't change super hard.
Mm,
Like
Though,
like Chicka Chicka Bang Bang is still like a bit silly, like Palmon always was. But Birdramon and Garudamon are just not at all like Biyomon at all.
though I like Lilymon coming from Togemon because she's a cactus flower, even though her name's Lilymon. Wait, do lilies come from cactuses?
I
Or
have no
what
clue. I'm
flower
pretty
comes
sure
from a
they're their own
cactus?
thing.
Tequila.
Tequila is a drink?
It comes from cactus.
No, I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
I'm pretty sure it does. I'm
Uh,
pretty sure I went to a place that was making. Yep, It's tequila cactus is a. It comes. Yep. I think tequila comes from a
the
cactus.
blue agave plant, primarily, what is? I guess if you call that a cactus,
Yeah,
I would. That is a fern.
it's a breed of cactus.
It looks like the top of a pineapple. It's barely a
Are
cactus.
we positive that that's not Togemon?
Yes, have you look at it.
Have you seen the top of her head?
Yes, she has a big pink flower there. This is neither pink nor a flower.
It has thorns on it.
Okay, so let's pretend it's a cactus then. It
I'm
still
pretty sure I
doesn't
used
have
to
a
have those in
flower.
my garden.
Okay,
No, I am
let's
like really
pretend.
sure I used to have those in my garden. No, they're spiky. They're huge and spiky.
Yeah,
They've
but
got
it's
the
not a
big
flower.
spikies. But yeah, the point is, how can we know for sure that Lilymon is not tequila?
By drinking her, I guess. That's the only answer I can positively give you. On From With the Will, we got Lotus Rose, also not a cactus, and they say that they enjoyed my upset over the Tailmon pulse of far too much. Well, get wrecked, I guess. I'm happy now. Um, they says interesting how my response to was to try and dismiss May's point about Plotmon and Tailmon and Holdramon being similar was, oh yeah, because Patamon looks like Angemon, even though his argument against Holdramon was that it's supposedly so random. Yeah, I mean, if I put a lot of thought into this, I'd be spending too much time thinking about Digimon. That's my answer. There always be Team Holy Dramon. She's the ultimate of holy beasts, and remind me what Tailmon is classified as again? I have no idea. That's a good question.
I think
I
she's
have
also a
no
holy
clue.
beast.
They do like her fanny. I wonder if if she loses the holy ring, if that changes. Do you think that if she has the holy ring, she turns into Ophanimon?
I think we've already like spoken about this a few episodes ago.
Yeah, because if she
Wait,
does,
did
then
we
that's the
speak about
legitimate
this?
evolution.
Did we speak about that not on the show or on the show?
I have legitimately no clue.
Because I'm pretty sure we spoke about. I'm not sure it was in person or on the show or whatever, but we had a discussion at one point, and it was is Tailmon becoming Orphanimon because I mean Holydramon because she doesn't have the holy ring.
I
No, I
mean,
think it was on the show. It was on the show.
it
Never mind.
wouldn't
We're,
you'd
we're
think it'd be the
boring.
opposite of that.
Yeah, well with the holy ring she becomes the angel with the holy rings because Holydramon I don't think has holy rings.
Well, I guess get wrecked then, because obviously the legitimate transformation is to Ophanimon.
It's a dog dragon.
Yeah,
Also, you
that's
can
the holy.
ride. I want a big dragon I can ride.
Well, go get one then. Anyway, thank you, Lotus Rose, for your opinion about how wrong I am.
A lot of people seem to think that it looks like the Never-Ending Story dragon. A few people have actually said that that's why they don't like Holy Dramon, because it reminds them of the creepy animatronic that is the night terror that is the
I thought
Never-Ending
people
Story dragon.
people love that dragon. At least that I know of.
Have you seen its face?
I have. It's
It's
cute enough.
It's called What Nightmares Are Made Out Of.
That's not true at all. Leave
It's
it
got these
alone.
big stupid human eyes and its nose and it looks like, no thank you.
It's kind of cute. It did nothing to you.
How do you know?
I've known you for a while. I feel like if a long furry dragon had done something to you, you would have told me by now.
I really like Holy Dramon though.
So yeah, and then we got another one from Chakmon who says they would also rather Holodramon that they could ride around on. They're also very focused on the riding. Here's a question for you. I mean, just from me. Did you give me these two letters because they both support Holodramon?
No, honestly, I just gave them to you because they were long and I'm tired.
They also got to say that the fact that we're 3/4 of the way through 02 and Iori is just learning about key events that happened in the first adventure, including Angemon's death, is absurd. And it is. The moment that they all became Digidestined, they should have all sat down and just talked it all out. Because why wouldn't you?
Mm.
The best line is when Daisuke's dad says to Ken, "Please, can you tutor my stupid son?" And they think the lamest line is when TK says, "I want that ugly thing destroyed." What's he referring to there?
Blackwell Greymon.
Oh, I mean that is really lame.
I didn't like that part either.
Arukenimon, having just built this recent crop of towers, begs the question why she needed Ken at all. And that's a really good question. In English, they just say like, "Oh, well, she didn't, Ken did," and they don't really talk about how she did it. But yeah, that's a good question. They like the bridge gag in episode 34 with Daisuke, Hikari, and Miyako. And they wish that we had some explanation about the Holy Stones and points so we could care more about them. That is also exactly legitimate. I'm going to complain about that a bunch this episode. Because here's the deal. We get a lot of backstory and explanation, and at the end of it, I couldn't tell you what the Holy Stones and points were for. Like, who put them there initially.
They were doing something.
Yeah, that's...
No. I think they're there to restore balance to the digital world, and that's why they had to be planted again by the seeds of hope and light.
Yeah, but like that's such a weird, like nothing way of saying it. Like, how did they get there? What balance did they need to restore? Were those because if those were the crests, right? The crests.
I think they are the crests.
No, the crests well then why there are only 7 of them? The crests unsealed the holy beasts, and it is kind of implied that the holy stones have been there for a really long time. So it kind of makes no sense at all.
Yeah, good point.
At least
I like to pretend it does.
Well, you should stop that. Obviously, that's a mistake. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming at this from. And so endeth the letter. Oh, that thing's creepy.
Yeah, I told you it was creepy. You just said it wasn't.
In my memory, it was cute. My memory was wrong.
For I Will Show You DigiWorld this week, Hailerai says that we should watch Team 4 Stars Digimon the Movie Abridged, which we did like a week ago, so that's convenient, so we didn't have to watch it before.
The new Abridgimon.
Yeah. I liked the part where Hikari and Miyako were lesbians.
It's, you know what, I honestly, I still think that it should have ended just before that line, and that's fine, it's cute and everything.
You just wanted to end it at da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da Davis.
That's the best joke in the whole thing. It's just like... And so basically, for those who have not seen it, it is a play on the recent issue of the copywriting of the word react.
Yeah.
And the entire situation...
It wasn't on the word react. I think that's just how they just did it wrong. They phrased it very wrong.
No, the Dark Masters were like...
I know, I'm referencing the Fine Brothers. They didn't mean to copyright the word react. They just worded their thing badly.
Well, that's what happened. It's the way the internet interpreted it, and that's how they made fun of it in this short. So, the Dark Masters copyright the words like digital world and digidestined, and the digidestined have to fight that, the original adventure guys, and they do, and they win. And Tai at the end just goes like, and now the Digidestined are safe forever, and it's always going to be great, and you know they can always use it and for good, and it'll be worthwhile. And it just cuts to Davis being so stupid. It's like, na 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 Davis. And if it had cut right there, I would have been on the floor. And then they spent 5 minutes staring at Ken, being like, I don't remember my lines. And that was it. It was pretty good until the end. But it's an April Fool's joke, so they didn't really need to make it that good.
Yeah, and I liked when Yamato and Taichi were singing "Let's Kick It Up." Also, Yamato was English
Yeah, he's
because why
British
not?
in those for some reason. And they never said stat screen.
I know. I was just hanging off for the stat screen screaming.
Let's kick it up
No, thank you.
together.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I wonder if they'll do another one in 2 years.
I hope so. Like I do want them to see them keep coming out because I kind of get it now. If you'd shown me this right at the beginning, I would have no clue what was going on.
Like, who's Davis, and why do they hate him so much? And now you understand.
God, I hate him so much.
If you have any emails to send us, we have an email which is LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com. We're at TranslationMon on Twitter. We're Lost in TranslationMon at Tumblr. We're Lost in TranslationMon on Facebook. We have a discussion thread on With the Will. We're Lost in TranslationMon on YouTube. We will have a Reddit thread on the Digimon subreddit, which I will link in the description on SoundCloud or iTunes, or I guess Stitcher, because it all grabs from the same RSS feed. And you can comment on this episode on SoundCloud. You can message us on SoundCloud. You can review us on iTunes or Stitcher. That'd be cool. I'm just going to bring it up straight away before I forget. So the episode's called Stone Soup, and in Obnoxious Synopsis, you're like, well, why is it Stone Soup? And like, I can't believe you didn't guess that it was referring to Destiny Stones.
In soup?
Yeah.
Okay, no, like this is a huge issue of hindsight where you go, oh well, in hindsight, it made total sense that like they'd put a stone in soup. Ha 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 ha. But you think of it from a context where you don't know what's going on, and you think Digimon, and you're like, this is some reference to like a weird Digimon's power, isn't it?
Good point.
Or
Good
like
point.
that's the name of their move. Chiku Chiku Bang Bang is a move. Stone Soup sounds like it's a thing that they'd throw at somebody. You know what
Good point.
doesn't sound like like it could happen? There would be a giant fountain of youth made of soup, and there happened to be a giant rock in it, and to unlock the rock, you had to lick the soup. None of that is exaggeration. That's exactly what happened, and this episode was terrible.
All right. So I really liked the title card at the start of this episode. It smushed them together, and Shakuramon happened. And I'm not sure if any of the other ones have done it, but I like it.
But Shakuramon looks like crap. So I can't even like it so much.
It does. It's Dogu. It's a Dogu, and it's cool. And it looks it's exactly what it's meant to be. It's what you get if you cross a dinosaur and an angel.
That is distinctly not true. If you cross a dinosaur with an angel, you get an angel with scales or a dinosaur with wings.
But this is a real thing.
So what?
It's an angel with Ankylosaurus
Are you saying
skin.
that? No, it's not though. It's made of metal.
I meant armor.
Ankylosaurus don't have metal armor. Also, is Sylphimon based on a real thing? Of course it's not. Is Paildramon based on a real thing?
It's based on being quiet and watching Digimon.
What?
I don't know.
My point is that they're not meant to be based on a thing. They're meant to smash the two together and make them what they would look like.
Well, I like it. But I think Sylphimon's the best, though. I used to not like Shakuramon, but when I first found out about the actual what it was, like a few years ago, I was like, yes, I can get behind this.
Like, I mean, you're allowed to be wrong. We can have a poll about this, about how terrible Shakuramon looks like.
And you're allowed not to be right.
Are you saying I'm not allowed to be right?
Yes.
Well, that's too bad. The poll for not Sylphimon, damn it. For Ophanimon clearly shows that, well,
I think people just felt sorry for you because you were so upset.
Yeah, well, now you're losing, so who should feel sorry for who now?
Well, we have until we finish 02, so...
God, that's a long poll. We should just stop it now.
Well, we only have a few weeks left of 02.
Also, it doesn't count if you make like 10 fake accounts to vote. You know that, right?
You don't vote in accounts. It votes using your IP.
It doesn't count if you vote from your house and my house.
I think it may be cookie. I didn't vote from your house. I voted from my house.
I'm just warning you.
But still, how many times have you voted?
None. Should I have?
No.
Well, there you go. We're one vote behind because I didn't bother. Where's the thing hosted? Is it on our Tumblr?
Yeah, I don't cheat.
I'm not cheating. I'm going to go vote like you did.
Oh, okay, good point. Yeah, it's on our Tumblr. And it's linked in a lot of other places too. so you'll be able to find it. The kids are at school, and the first thing that I hear when I'm watching in the original version is they make kids in Japan play the recorder too. Is no country safe?
No, no country is safe. Also, just voted for a Fanimon. Wrecked.
No. But, like, real talk. Like,
52%.
I was convinced that the recorder was just Australia. Is it not?
I'm pretty sure it's like the starter instrument for all countries because
But
it's
it
so
sounds
simple.
awful.
Oh, it's crap. Yeah, except that one guy in that one video who like plays the recorder and beatboxes at the same time somehow. It's
That's not
really
fair.
sick.
But I remember all we did was like the Mary Had Little Lamb and that's it because it only has like a few holes. Like teach keyboard. It's the same thing but better, and you don't have to blow, and it doesn't sound like you're murdering a cat.
Kids don't have hands big enough.
Just get a mini keyboard.
Also, those like expensive. The point of the recorder as well is that all parents can afford them because they're like $10.
Good point. I feel so sorry for the poor Japanese kids.
I feel sorry for all children that they have to be children. Being a child is terrible. Being around children is terrible. Children equals terrible.
And then they have to learn recorder, which is
So, back to speaking about the kids in this show.
I feel like the past like 6 episodes have just been Blackwall Greymon causing collateral damage.
That is very accurate.
Like I feel that's all that he does. Mummymon is worried that Arukenimon has fallen in love with Blackwall Greymon, and like I guess Arukenimon can't drive and needs Mummymon because she's knocked him out and he's unconscious. And then he tries to kiss her when she tries to wake him up, which is super creepy.
It might not be that she can't drive. I mean, nice inference that women can't drive, May.
No, I just
Jeez.
think she
Get
can't.
with the times, May.
No,
I
I'm just
mean,
saying that she can't drive because she's got 8 legs.
she can't drive because he's in the driver's seat.
And also, she like how do spiders drive? Like they have 8 legs.
Spiders would drive with great precision. They have like 3 legs per pedal. Um, so yeah, it's really weird because in the previous episodes, Blackwall Green has said, "I can sense the holy points. I can just find them, and when they're hidden, he can just kind of sense." And he just uncovered one at random. He's like, "Oh, there it is." He knows.
Yep.
So why is he complaining that he can't find this one?
Because he's angsty and he needs to be angsty about something at all times.
Like his powers completely fluctuate based on the needs of the plot. He's like Silver Age Superman. It's ridiculous. Silver Age Superman had the power of super math. That really happened.
Wow.
Also, he could breathe rainbow versions of himself.
That's a thing.
It is. Silver Age Superman was ridiculous.
Mummymon comments about how he must have brushed his teeth at least a year ago when
Love that in English.
like when Arukenimon doesn't want to kiss him. And I'm just like, I guess that's funny, but why?
No, actually, he makes this joke twice. He says, I brushed my teeth at least a year ago," and also he says later on in the episode, "I changed the oil like within the last 5 years, I'm sure." Um, and
But I don't think they were even around that like 5 years ago because that's when the Adventure Kids were in the digital world.
well, they weren't big public figures. To me, it's just like a mummy is like an ancient thing. So for him, his frame of reference for time should be really long.
I guess that makes sense, but I still think it's like, oh, that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously just it's the English being really stupid, but I really like that joke because it's just of the. I think it's kind of funny in and of itself, but I think that as a mummy, like he could have just a different perspective on time. Um, but yeah, they don't end up getting murdered by Blackwall Greymon
Oh.
and just like.
Also, I have a theory. Maybe he can't sense it because it's under the soup, and the soup's protecting it.
But it was under.
Yes, but it's not soup. It's like this magic soup.
Are
And
you
it's
saying that
protecting it.
snow isn't soup?
Yes, it's like maybe the soup's magic. Like
mean,
it is like naturally occurring soup. We don't know the
guess.
properties of naturally occurring soup.
It's true. I legitimately don't know the properties of naturally occurring soup.
And clearly it's a little bit magic because you put your tongue in and it just does a thing and a holy stone appears.
There's got to be like 8,000 euphemisms that were just born there, but I'm not going to say any of them.
Mummymon and Arukenimon find like a Chinatown, and we hear this gong. And then, have we? That's just how my notes go.
Have we skipped
continue
the
then.
kids
You
going
continue.
into the digital world? Because
Yeah.
I'm sure.
There wasn't much to note there. They went into the digital world. That happens every episode.
Well, there was one really important bit where Iori shows up having just been late for because he was cleaning something, and Davis begins yelling at him because he obviously believes that real-world obligations are unforgivable. It is
Yep.
not okay to be late when we're going to DigiWorld. But he's really excited to see Ken again because he instantly forgave him. Digital genocide, totally fine.
Yep.
And keep this in mind that Iori has just been yelled at for being late because delay is a weird part of Iori's story in this episode.
Yep.
Okay, they said they find Chinatown, which I unfortunately call Little Japan Town because I'm stupid.
I think in the dub it might be called Digi Chinatown.
No, only the kids call it that. The Arukenimon and Mummymon look at it and like, hey, it's Chinatown. And then Davis goes, look, it's Digi Chinatown. Which lends the theory to me that like the kids call everything Digi whatever. None of the Digimon call it that. Also, this is gonna be a stupid question. I thought ramen was a Japanese food.
I think that it might be Chinese ramen that they're talking about in this episode, maybe. But it uses Chinese style wheat noodles, apparently.
Oh, sure. I guess that's fine. They'd probably serve that in Chinatown. Digi Chinatown. Wait, yeah, Digi China Digitown. So, Mamimon and Arukenimon go to a ramen shop, which is run by a Digitamamon.
And a really cute Bakumon who's the cutest thing ever and was playing a musical instrument and it was really cute. And Bakumon's really cute.
Isn't it playing one of those things you have on your wall?
Yes, but I don't know the name of it.
Neither do I.
It's a thing. It's like an Asian viola thing.
Yeah. So in Japanese, all it can say is different kinds of ramen.
Yep.
Which it begins with pork ramen. Side note, where do you get pork in the digital world? Are there pigmons you kill?
You get it from Patamon.
Oh, that's really gross. Yeah, and all it says different kinds of ramen. And I'm sure there's a joke here, and I can't figure it out. There's certainly never like a punchline in the show, which leads me to believe that this is the punchline, but I don't get it.
It's cute though.
That's pretty cute. And then in English, instead of just being able to say food names, he talks like normal, except he just threatens them so that they'll give him a tip.
Yeah. Oh, but this is before they enter Digi Chinatown. Arukenimon keeps on hitting Mummymon because he says like real Captain Obvious things like, I guess there'll be food in here after they smell some nice food, and he just says some really obvious things. In the dub, he's making a comment about how it'll be hard for Arukenimon to find shoes after she makes a comment about how she wants to go shopping. And it makes her, and then she says she's really subconscious about her feet.
She's really subconscious about her feet.
And self-conscious.
Because he describes it as big, sticky feet.
Yep.
If anyone said that about my feet, I'd be really upset.
Yeah, that's why she gets upset and she beats him up.
Oh, jeez, poor mummy man. Oh, also she calls him oh god, what's the exact wording? Oh no, yeah, sticky tape boy. That doesn't make any sense. They're bandages.
I think masking tape would be a better one because masking tape's white at least.
It's not sticky tape at all.
So the part about this episode that I like is that we get to see the point of view from the bad guys. Like we don't really see we don't get to hang around with the bad guys and see what they do. And we just sort of, we see them like chill and then they decide they want to go for eats. And it just
for eats.
Yeah. So yeah, then they go to the restaurant and Bakumon is just saying different types of ramen. Meanwhile, it's called Tapirmon in the dub, which is because a Baku is I had a picture of this up earlier, is a yokai and it's horrifying and it eats dreams and it's like a tapir thing. So they called it Tapirmon.
Oh, okay, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's kind of horrifying.
I noticed that.
Scroll down to the third image.
Oh Jesus! I noticed that it and Digitalmon have It's the first time that we've ever seen a doubled move, like another Digimon that has the same moves. That isn't like Black Wall Greymon.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand what the relevance of that is. I don't the moves have never really seemed to be anything more than flavorful anyway. So now it's like Pokemon where like two different ones, no flamethrower. Apparently they are relevant. I don't know. There's some weird in-depth lore stuff I'm not quite getting.
I think every Digimon has their own move, like it's their special signature move, and then they have smaller attacks. And plus all in training Digimon have Bubble Blow.
I guess. Let's see.
Arukenimon in the dub wants extra flies in her soup because get it, she's a spider. Also, Digitamamon is cooking with the ladle in his mouth, and it's really cute.
It's not bad. I mean, he doesn't have arms.
Yeah, I know, but it's just, and the whole time he's just holding things in his mouth. But then he gets another thing in his mouth, and it's like from coming out from the side of the egg. So maybe he does have hands that are inside the egg.
Maybe
Oh no, we've seen him. He pops out of the egg in the Shuimon episode, and he's like that ghost thingy, and that's his nightmare syndrome, and he's got little armies.
Oh, okay, that would
Yeah, I
explain
forgot that
my
he had little
question from
armies.
later in the episode.
Yeah, he has little armies.
Because, like, I couldn't figure out what that thing was, because there's no animation of it coming out of the shell or going back into it. It appears to be an attack of some kind.
Yeah. Miyako tries to sell Hikari the store water, and she says it's the best water in the world.
It's got minerals and stuff.
And then she flogs her the shop that her family owns.
It's really cute that, like, Hawkmon has learned all the salesman techniques from her.
Yeah. Everybody's hungry and they want to go to the town to eat, and then Iori gets angry because all they can think about is food, and it's just like, but we already know that it makes them stronger, so I don't understand your reasoning, Iori. Why are you angry?
Do you know why he should be angry, however?
Why?
Davis just yelled at him for being too slow. And he goes, we have to stop Angstmon. It's really important. And then he gets in there and they're like, let's get food.
Yeah, but he doesn't say that. He doesn't say, oh, how come that, like, when I'm in a rush, like, they're all in a rush and if I'm late, they're allowed to do whatever they want.
Should say something.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He's just upset for a trivial reason about, man, I really don't want to have to eat to survive.
But it's just, like, really weird.
Mamimon and Arakenimon are asking the Bakumon for the ingredients, and all he can do is list the different types of ramen because that's all he can say. In the dub, Tapirmon is, since he can talk, is evasive.
This soup is magnificent.
And full of flies. It's the best.
Waiter!
Need something, sir?
Tell me, my good man, what is this tasty soup made of?
Lots of noodles.
Well, I know that. What else?
Even more noodles.
They call out Digitalmon, and he says that it's a trade secret, and then the kids walk in, and Daisuke says, oh, look, it's Digitalmon, and Digitalmon says that he's a different one, and he's actually a friend of the other Digitalmon, and he's been told about the chosen children before. In the dub, after Davis recognizes him, he says that he's lost his appetite, and Digitalmon says that they do take out so he can, if he doesn't have an appetite, he can still take his food away. Yeah,
Davis is a bit racist, isn't he?
So the dub seems to think that he's the same one, and because he doesn't say, oh no, I'm not a different one, he says nothing of the sort. So it's almost implied that in the dub he's the same Digitalmon, but in the original it's definitely not.
To Davis, they all look the same. What a huge racist. It's not that often we get to see two different Digimon who, like, will talk in different places. Like you got your town full of baby Piyomon, whatever they were called.
And we see the Gazimon who are together, but we've never actually seen, two of the same species that aren't, like, together, like in a pack.
You would never see, like, another Puppetmon, and it's like, whoa, I'm innocent, I never did any of that stuff.
Yeah, or another Leomon or whatever. Yeah, I see your point. But so it's nice to have to know, oh no, remember, there are different, you can see this Digimon elsewhere. There are more than one.
I want to see another Puppetmon.
Yeah, but I think that the psychotic Puppetmon's the best.
How cool would it be if, like, one of the, like, if there was, like, a final Jogress or something, or some other version where, like, all their dudes came together and they turned into, like, a Piedmon, and they're like, oh my god.
That'd be cool.
Just TK freaks out.
Oh, that'd be sad. So then we get 5 minutes of evolution.
It's disgusting. This is only 2 minutes, but there is another, like, 2 to 3 minutes throughout the rest of the show. There was like a full minute because, like, the evolution started and my attention lapsed, and then I kind of turned away from the show, and then I realized, oh god, I gotta watch the show, and I turned back to the show. It's been a full minute and it was still going.
Yep.
And in English, this is so much worse because they play the song from the beginning every time.
Yep.
And it plays 6 times.
Yep. Also, for some reason, Davis asks XVmon to DNA evolve in the dub. And then Vmon says, but I can't because Ken's not here.
No,
and
he says it in both.
Oh, does he?
He says it in both.
Oh, man. I thought that was a dumb addition. Okay.
And it's like Stingmon's here. He's like, crap, I forgot.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was in both versions. Oh, man. But that's still just a stupid thing. Like, man, they really don't like Daisuke, do they?
No, not at all. And he even knew that Ken was going to be late because they talked about it before they went to the digital world.
I guess he's so used to Ken being there now, he just sort of thinks that he can just do it.
Let's see.
Also, we get another evolution because it's Tailmon and Archilomon, but we get that twice because it goes backwards halfway.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, because they can't evolve. And in the dub, TK says, well, it proves my theory that we can't evolve when they're hungry. I'm like, you already knew this.
Here's the thing, though. We'd kind of solved that ages ago.
Yeah.
We solved it because they go to the real world all the time and they eat there. That's always kind of been implied that they do eat before they go.
Yeah.
Why would they show up weak? Wouldn't they know that before they went into the digital world? And I guess more importantly, from a show perspective, and what makes this one of the worst episodes ever, is you've just given us 2 minutes, 2 full minutes of animation of stock footage, which progresses the plot not at all.
Well,
They all
it's
evolve, and then there is, I believe it is actually 8 seconds of Mummymon beats them all,
yep.
and then it cuts to the eye catcher. Like,
Yep.
it took 2 minutes of evolution for 8 seconds of fighting.
Yep. Which is sad, but like it also shows them that they're not unbeatable.
Well, I mean, they're just champions and stuff.
I still think they should have skipped the evolutions, like quickly evolve like that. I guess it was slightly awkward with that time and adventure where Mimi was like, Palmon evolve, and then like she was suddenly Togemon.
Yeah, but you can either shorten the evolution down, or there's 6 of them. Just put them all in split screen.
Yeah, and we have seen them do that before when they didn't have much time to show all the evolutions.
It felt like such a money saver. Like they were like, okay, we don't have that much plot this episode, so just stick tons and tons of evolution.
That is 100%. Like I've noticed that there is a correlation between the episodes where you've said this is a really good episode, and to see how many minutes into the episode the first evolution is, and all the ones that are like 7 and above, they have their first evolution about 15 minutes in, and it's usually just like the one evolution, like the evolutions that's important to the plot, and that's it. And they're usually the higher ones, but however the lower ones seem to have the evolutions early in the episode, and there are more in the episode rather than just one clump of evolutions. There are several clumps where they evolve different times, and also it's more than just the important evolution that beats the bad guy. And what was I about to say?
Well, look, you do some quick math on this, and you think to yourself, take all the amount of time on the screen that they do evolutions, which includes in this episode 6 regular evolutions, 2 failed jogresses, and then 3 successful ones.
Yeah.
You're looking at 11 evolution animations.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at all the time spent talking about evolution.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah?
Also, in the better episodes, they tend to skip the evolutions. Like
Yeah.
it'll be a scene change, and all of a sudden they'll be riding on their armored Digimon flying through the sky.
Which is good, because it's just such a huge waste of time.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time they use the evolutions to buffer in minutes that they don't have to this episode.
Yeah.
And I would rather a shorter episode.
And that's what I'm talking about.
The evolutions.
That's what I'm talking about with the math of this episode. You think about it, and you think 5 minutes is wasted on this, probably. 5 minutes in a
100%.
20-minute episode. A full quarter of the show isn't there, basically.
And then there's the intro and outro, which are also a few minutes.
Yeah, it's blank. There's so little content here, and it's kind of incredible how much stuff happens, and then it's all terrible. Like, Mummymon kills them all basically in one shot, and they can't jogress, and they're all hungry, and they're all gonna die. And then it comes back from the eye catcher, and Mummymon and Arukenmon run away.
Mm.
Can you
Yeah,
give
because
me
they
any
want-
good reason why they ran away?
Well, I was just about to say that they were chasing after Tapiamon and Digihommon because they really want the recipe, and they said that.
I know, I get that, but that's not what I consider a good reason. This is
The dub gives them a slightly different reason, however. They say that they de-evolved and have to escape, and they blame the food for making them de-evolve. However, their human forms aren't devolving at all. That's just a different mode, and they can do that at any time, so it's not the soup. And they do it because it's easier to fit in the car.
Yeah, I know. It's so stupid. But like
Which reason do you think is better?
This is legitimately worse than Vamdemon. This is the new that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bad guys won. It's right there. They are the kids are completely defenseless. And what did they do? The bad guys wanted recipe for soup, so they left.
Must be really good soup.
They didn't even think, oh, we can just come back here later and get that because this is their shop. How about we just win forever? Why don't we just successfully, complete our plans? No, I really want soup. I just can't get over that. I can't get over what a gross waste of time this all is. What kind of crap bad guys are these? that when victory is literally handed to them on a plate, they ran away.
So they drive off and they go to find water because their car breaks down. Mummymon hears water drops, so he looks for that because he wants to put water in the car. And this is where the line about the putting the water in the radiator 5 years ago is that we mentioned earlier. Then they find the soup spring, and just by pure coincidence, the Holy Stone turns out to be in there. Mummymon falls in and he starts to pull the ring off. And there's a reference that I never got as a kid that Mummymon says, and it's either this is a Holy Stone or a giant matzo ball. And I didn't get that as a kid because I had no reference to what a matzo ball was until until like 2 years ago because of you.
You're gonna on the 23rd and 22nd you'll have them again.
Yay! Yay. I like them. What are the fish ones called?
That is gefilte fish.
And that was really good. And what's the stuff that's like horseradish? It's like that spicy. It's not spicy, but it's like that.
You mean horseradish?
Oh, it's legitimately horseradish, but it's pink.
Yeah, it's horseradish.
Oh, I always had brown horseradish.
Yeah, there's two kinds.
The kids are eating, and Takaru says that he and Iori can jog rest now. And then they see the Holy Stone's light, but I don't know how Ken knows it's from a Holy Stone. And a lot of things glow in the digital world, so I don't know how he just says, hey, look, it's the Holy Stone. In the dub, TK says that they can jog rest because of something in the soup, and he says it's the MSG. So I don't know why he has that reasoning.
Why you mean the Digi MSG?
Yeah. Arukenimon throws a big rock at Mummymon, which, wow, she can lift a lot. And also, like, she's so mean to Mummymon. Iori and Takaru are ready to evolve, and then Ken and Daisuke get their Digimon to evolve too, and so do Hikari and Miyako. And then lots of evolutions happen in this episode. Sylphimon and Paildramon start fighting Black or Greymon. Finally, Ankylomon and Angemon jogress, and Beedit starts only playing at this evolution, by the way. And then Iori and Takaru hug when they get their Digimon.
I really don't like that they just like decide to jogress. I think that it was like interesting that they kind of knew it was happening and they were trying to like ready themselves for it, but it just nothing changed for them personally. They just kind of looked at each other and was like, "Let's go, I guess." I don't know. It just wasn't nothing momentous happened to them at all. Just they tripped over and fell. It was like, now's the time.
What do you think of this episode as someone who is new to Digimon?
It was garbage. This is. If this was the first episode of Digimon you showed somebody, and even if you tried to explain everything that went on, they'd never watch the show again.
Wow.
This is the worst episode I think I've ever seen.
I don't think it was super bad, but I don't think it was my favorite. What did I give it? I gave it a 6 out of 10 because too much evolutions, but I think I might actually demote that to a 5, having spoken about it more, because it was mainly evolutions.
I gave it a -100 out of 5 billion.
But what about actually out of 10 though?
-8.
Out of 10 as in minimum 0.
0.
Really?
Okay, maybe it gets a 1 because I think that it has a salvageable idea of watching the bad guys eat ramen. But
yeah, that's what I liked about the episode.
It is a waste of time. It is a huge waste of time.
So you think you could have skipped this episode and just had the evolution happen at the start of the next one?
I think it would have been confusing how they got there, but I think that, like, as a mystery goes, it would have been more interesting than watching this episode.
That's fair.
I think it would have been more interesting to be like, wait, did I miss something? Than to actually have to sit through this.
What about how you thought about this episode compared to what you thought about it in Obnoxious Synopsis?
So I said that TK and Cody would jogress. That was correct. I thought it'd be a Steel Angel, which was incorrect. I'm quite sad that it didn't work out the way I wanted it to and actually look good. I said that Stone Soup doesn't make any sense, and well, I guess I got wrecked. It makes total sense. There was a big stone in soup. Surprise. I said the Holy Stones would get destroyed, and it doesn't, and it won't next episode either. Spoiler. Let's see. My guess for what Shakomon would look like was really, really wrong. He doesn't have a mace at all. And I said it'd be fairly decent. No, sorry, a fairly decent likelihood of
a good activation of evolution.
Oh, it wasn't at all. It was just like, yeah, let's go. All right, cool. Activate, blah, blah, blah. Who's Angstrom? Angstmon? Probably.
Where?
Angstrom is angsty.
Oh, yeah. It must have been autocorrect because I was doing it on my phone.
I was optimistic it'd be a good episode. It wasn't. It's a 1. I believe that is the lowest I've ever given.
Yeah, 100%. What differences did you notice, and do you think they were justified?
I'm going to be super honest with you. It was so difficult to pay attention because this episode made me feel physical pain.
Well, I didn't grab that many differences, mainly just stupid lines, and also Bakumon being Tapirmon and Tapirmon not actually talking words instead of
Yeah,
just listing the menu.
it's that Sticky Tape Boy, Digi Chinatown, and then it was, and the most important change and the worst change, which was that they took every time they did the evolution, every time they did the evolution, they'd play the song again and again and again. And now I never want to hear it again in my life. And it's going to happen every time I watch an English episode, and I'm going to just die a little bit
Oh
more inside.
no.
I'm just going to die.
The next episode starts off where we left off with Shakurmon being there.
No,
And
it
we
doesn't
find
start where we left off. He evolves again.
Oh yeah, well yeah, we get that again. But we always get that when we get an evolution at the start of the end of an episode. We always get it at the start again because it could be like a week before you watch this, and it just sort of gives you a bit of a show. Also, it's a big moment, so I can allow it.
Yeah, I know, but just like I'd complained about the 11 evolutions from the last episode. I can't stand the fact that we open this one with another one.
Well, it's fine because that's the only evolution we get in the episode.
Oh, it's so much better. I mean, like the episode has so many good points to it until like it kind of goes up its own butt right at the end.
Yeah, but we'll get to that.
Yes, it does.
Shakurmon can absorb Blackwall Greymon's attack, which is really useful, and we finally see the power of 3 perfects, and they're pretty balanced perfects. Like, we've got the magical throwing magic orbs and being super cool and fast, which is Sylphimon. Like, she's fast and she's pretty strong. Then we've got Paildramon, who's just got a gun and punches a lot.
Although that said, Paildramon and Sylphimon, because of the way Digimon work, in that they're not actually like type balanced, they're basically just the fighty ones.
Yeah, but Sylphimon's faster, I think.
Yeah, but like it's never shown to be relevant.
Well, she's more magic based.
Again, like it's never come up in a fight where like, okay, Peldramon's too slow, bring in Sylphimon. It's just like it's just the way you interpret their animations.
Yeah. And now we have Shakurmon, who's just a tank and can absorb things. He's super slow, but like he seems very good at buffs and stuff.
Yeah, which actually is quite interesting. And I think gives a different dynamic to fights, which I have heavy doubts it will ever actually be a big deal.
Like, it's nice to see strategies in Digimon besides just punch the guy. Good, you done that? Okay, good, next. Do something else. Punch the guy. Cool.
I was so angry. Also, yeah, and I forgot all the evolution stock footage in the recap.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because it's talking over it and they're just recaps.
And in the recap in the English, they lie about Mummymon and Arukenimon. We couldn't evolve, but neither could they, so they ran away.
Oh, you mean the recap rather than the Qinglongmong explaining things?
No, the recap, not the exposition.
Okay. Oh yeah, that was
So stupid.
Yeah, the recaps are always lies, I found.
So yeah, I like the ultimate shield idea, basically.
Blackwall Greymon gets attacked and we finally see him actually be weakened. He's cracked and he's spurting Black Tower energy, and then he flies off and Hikari says that he's sad. And in the dub, Kari says that he needs friends, which I'm not sure why, but okay, I guess.
But like, it's not like he had indicated he was going to be any better at that stage. She's like, he seems like he needs a friend.
But he should be happy because wasn't his goal to find someone who's able to fight him?
Yeah, but it wasn't like one-on-one, I think.
Oh, okay. Blackwall Greymon still wants to destroy the Holy Stone. Digitamon and Bakumon come to help and take care of Mummymon and Arukenimon because I love them and they're adorable. Daisuke, well, I love Bakumon. Digitamon's okay. Daisuke suggested they move the Holy Stone, which is, well done, Daisuke. You're actually having a legitimate idea.
Yeah, but that's such a weird idea. They've never moved a Holy Stone before.
Yeah, I know, but they never tried, and he actually does do good leader stuff in this episode.
So it's like floating, and what's it going to do, like push it?
Well, he says we'll get Paildramon to help. But in the dub, it's not Davis's idea, it's Cody's.
Yeah, I mean, and then like the idea of how they're actually going to move it is his idea. So it doesn't change anything?
But still, like the original idea, it was Daisuke's, but in the dub, they can't have Davis be too smart, so they have to have the original idea being Cody.
Well, they need to sass him later.
Yeah.
And by God, do they sass him.
Daisuke suggests aiming their D3s at the Holy Stone, which is fair enough. Like, I'm surprised they haven't done this more. Like we should know that the holy object being pointed at things is usually a good.
No, I mean, when have they? The only times they've ever actually pointed, what's it call it? They've only ever
They're
pointed.
mistakes.
They've only ever pointed their Digivices at like bad guys.
And also, it's been a mistake sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it's just been, oh, my D3 is on my bag, and the Digimon tried to touch my bag, and it got hit, or I dropped my D3. Whoops. Oh, well, in the first season's case, I dropped my Digivice. Oh, it fell at the foot of the Digimon I'm fighting. Oh, look, it's shining.
It totally worked out, guys. It was all totally as intended.
Mm.
So let's see.
I really love Bakumon trying to attack Arukenimon, just sort of waving his little arms, and Arukenimon just sort of holding him, and it's so cute.
It's very cute.
How can you not think this Digimon's the cutest?
Digitamon's doing something very similar with his legs.
Oh, I think I'm gonna have to start up my Digimon Pendulum Nightmare Soldiers version because I just love Bakumon so much.
Have you considered not doing that?
But Bakumon's so cute. It's also a Nightmare Soldier.
I guess it does kind of look like a bit of a nightmare if you look at the original inspiration for it.
Well, Gabumon's also a Nightmare Soldier.
What?
I've told you this before.
I don't remember that.
He's a Nightmare Soldier.
I don't know what else he would be, but like that seems really weird.
Yep. Well, Garurumon, he evolves into Garurumon, which is a Nightmare Soldier, definitely, and he is on the Nightmare Soldier pendulum cycle.
All right. So I didn't know this. That I don't know. Did Wargreymon ever do that, where he took his wings off and they became a shield?
Yeah.
He did that? I don't remember that at all.
I've seen him do it before. I know he does it.
Okay, it took me completely by surprise, but then it's been a long time since season 1. A long time since season 1. Never thought I'd miss it this bad.
Wow, really?
Well, in comparison, like I'm not jonesing just to watch it, but I'm jonesing for it in comparison. So I still don't get like why he keeps asking like why was I made? Like what's my purpose? But it's like Arikenimon's right there. Does he not know she made him?
I just think he likes being angsty.
Oh, well, he definitely likes being angsty. There's no question.
We get a pretty light show when they raise their D3s to the Holy Stone, and in the dub, the D3s make a really annoying high-pitched screaming sound, and I just don't know why. I guess it's to show that they're doing a thing, but it's just so loud and it's just so high-pitched, and I don't think it's necessary.
I didn't actually notice it, to be honest with you.
Good, you're lucky.
But I guess I wasn't. I didn't find it quite so annoying. We have different tolerances for different things.
Qinglongmong shows up. Dramatic music happens.
It's so confusing. What did the Holy Stones actually do? I kind of got the impression they were imprisoning him, but I guess he was showing up because destroying them was killing him, maybe?
Yep, it was hurting him. I think because he was chained still. Like he was still under the. I don't know. He was trapped.
But how could he be entrapped if the things unsealed him? If the crest unsealed him?
I don't know. I think the fact that all the darkness happened because of the Dark Towers was keeping him chained again, I think.
Oh god, it makes no sense at all.
And that's why Ken is feeling bad. Qinglongmong says that Black Greymon has a cursed black soul. Also, his name is Azulongmon in the dub.
Why does that name sound really familiar? I mean, it's probably that you've just told it to me before, but it seems like a thing from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Well, Azula is a character from.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite that direct. Maybe I'm just being crazy.
I googled. Hang on. Something League of Legends came up when I put that in. But I'm not sure that might be a user. No, that's just a user.
All right, it's fine. So yeah, I think this is. I mean, you're gonna ask me later on, but I think this is a really cool design. It's probably the best design this season.
Yeah, I 100%. I love his face. It reminds me of Raydramon.
Raydramon.
The lightning thing.
Just a little bit, but more importantly, I think that like it's just got this really interesting, like otherworldly sort of presence to it. That not all the other Digimon kind of feel weird and like toys, and this thing feels like an ancient creature. Like it's really hitting what it's trying to portray.
Yeah, it's 100% like if you think Holy Beast and a dragon, so you would think got lots of pretty chains. Probably is sort of.
It's like really
light.
Ethereal as well.
Yeah, ethereal is the word I'm looking for.
Oh, it's really sick.
So yeah, he says that Black Greymon has a cursed black soul, and then he says that he holds the spheres of light and hope and protects the eastern air of the digital world. In the dub, it's said that he protects the eastern hemisphere of the digital world. Azulongmon says that Black Greymon asks more questions than Cody, and that's instead of saying that he has a black soul.
How does he know that Cody asked lots of questions? He was in limbo until like 5 minutes ago, and Cody hasn't said anything.
I think it's because he mentioned, well, in the dub, well, and this is only mentioned in the dub, he says that Jedi has told him about them.
But okay, so Jedi was in limbo with him.
I guess. I don't know. It's only in the dub that Jedi is mentioned at this part.
Is Jedi still in limbo?
No, we don't know. He's only mentioned in the dub.
Oh, it's really confusing.
Also, something I found interesting is that Azulongmong, so in the dub, he says Jedi, but he pronounces it like the original does with a hard G, so Genai.
I guess I didn't notice because it's been such a long time since they've
And
ever
also,
said it.
you always say Genai anyway.
Yeah, so it's
I
natural.
I say Genai because it's the whole GIF argument. It's whatever you learn first is the one that you think is the real one. And it's so hard for me to say Genai because I grew up with Genai being the word for it, and I always thought of it as Genai, not Genai. It's the same with a lot of the dub names. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I really struggle sometimes to not say the dub names because, again, it's something that I was just brought up on and always thinking as the name. And though Jay's weird because he says Iori over Cody, but he always says Yoli over Miyako.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I don't know why I ended up with those. I think they're just the most comfortable names.
Yep.
I don't know. Cody doesn't seem to fit him. It seems like a weird, like, too hard westernization.
Yeah, because he's a very Japanese young boy, so Iori fits. And Iori's not like it's not too different. Like, I don't know, I like it. Blackwall Greymon strolls off because he throws a strop, which is what he does in a lot of episodes.
Yeah, it's pretty much constant. But
Yeah.
like, and it's weird. Like, you'd think that he'd be really happy after being told he has a soul because he's been just wondering about it for a really long time.
I'm not really sure if he says much in the original, but in the dub,
Where are you going?
Someplace where things go to disappear.
He should try my sock drawer.
Yeah, he says pretty much the same thing. He goes, I want to go somewhere that is nowhere. Is the line.
Yeah, so I guess they mistranslated as go to where things go to disappear rather than he just wants to go to his room and cry and listen to My Chemical Romance and write
on the
Twilight.
dance floor.
Yeah, he wants to write Twilight fan fiction.
Oh, was it actually Angstamon who wrote My Immortal?
Canon, 100%. We see baby Amadimon, which is just wing ball minus one wing. And then Miyako remembers the 4 holy beasts who were in each gate in Kyoto. And finally we get things explained to us.
Finally, but then like the explanation is both like really late and also just I don't know. It's got huge problems.
Yeah.
Like,
so I was trying to write this all down, but also pay attention, so I didn't get much. So yeah, the Dark Master chained up the holy beasts before the original children came, and then that's why the children came to like help. The crest power helped break their seal, and they can only reach perfect at certain times because of them now. Apparently, Joe complained about having to give up his crest, and then Azulongmong, because he's sassy, apparently says that he complains about everything. So it's sort of said that Azulongmong told the original children.
How does he know Joe? Like,
yeah, but the thing is, so it's very much implied by this scene that Azulongmon was the one who told them you have to give up your crests, right?
No, but Genai definitely told them.
Yeah, I know, but that's almost that's what I thought was happening when I was a kid when I watched this.
I never really got that impression. What I do remember, and it's just like, why is he so sassy? He hates these kids. You can tell.
Yeah.
He goes, if Izzy didn't have his intelligence, he'd be Tai.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's such an ass.
He's so mean. Then we find out that the armor evolutions were sent to the new children. It's a very ancient form of evolution, and the Digivice was created to look like Ken's, so they could fight him. My notes are a mess because I'm typing it. And he said that they didn't anticipate them having the D terminals, which are convenient because it holds the Digi eggs. And then they had to temporarily create the Digimental miracles. And then he says he's going to regrow the Holy Stones. And then he explains why Hikari and Takadu were also there because their crest freed him and how they're different. In the dub, Kari says, "Hey TK, those were our crests." And then so she seems to explain much more. And also, they're still technically your crests. Like, they didn't stop being your crests. You have it on your Digimental.
You know, I kept he was saying stuff along the lines of, well, these were the Digimon who were capable of armor evolving, so that just happened to be how it was. So we needed 3 more dudes, so we just did that. What it sounded to me, for real though, was we really needed it to be this way for the script.
Yep.
So
100%.
it was that way, and that's the end of it.
The script strikes back.
Revenge of the script.
That's a good one. Qinglong Mong says that there's another evil which controls Mummymon and Arcanimon, and who created Ken's darkness. So, ooh, spoopy. The kids go back and have pork buns because why not? Leafmon says it's great to eat with friends, but in the dub you can't actually say what he's understand what he's saying because he's eating, so he's just going.
I like it weirded me out how Davis was actually right for once.
Mm.
He grabs a bun and Yolee's like, "That's mine," and he's like, "They're all the same," and she continues to be awful about it for the next 10 minutes.
That me.
They're walking away afterwards, and it's like, I hold grudges when it comes to food. I'm like, I've never related to this character quite so much before.
This is why I like Miyako. She's easily the most relatable character.
She has a lot of interesting points as far as food goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that. I don't know if we've really mentioned it, but that explanation by Jinglomon took like half the episode.
Oh, more than that.
It's
100%.
just talking and flashbacks.
Yep. And I feel like they could have done that better or like spread it out over, the past 37 episodes we've had. What did you think of this episode as someone who was new to Digimon?
It was fine. The problem was that like as somebody who's new to Digimon, half of the stuff that he talked about I'd heard of before, but not from the show. And that's a huge problem. Like I'd never known until this point, if I was perfectly fresh and didn't talk to you about it or anything, I would have got to this episode and been like, the Dark Masters put these guys away?
Yeah.
And you're telling me this in episode 37. 37.
So basically episode 91 if you include Adventure.
Yeah.
Adventure has 54 episodes, so that's 91 episodes without explanation. I do believe the novels did explain this in them.
I've said enough times that the novels aren't relevant when you're making a media analysis of the show.
Yeah.
Because you just have to think, like, if this is all I had, would I know? And it's just definitely not. You'd have no clue. You had no chance of knowing.
And Ryo is still not mentioned.
But he's been in the show.
Yep.
It's so stupid.
I think we see him again, but I guess we'll have to wait for that. So what did you think this episode as how you thought about it in an Obnoxious Synopsis?
Let's take a look at my little, your notes, I guess. I said the last hallucination will blow up, and that's it. I'm just wrong. I'm so wrong. I said it's like mindless and violent, but he's this wise dude. But
And you said the dragon shows up in Kyoto, which is
here's
also
the thing.
wrong.
The connection to Kyoto is the most tenuous garbage nothing I've ever seen in my life. It's called Kyoto Dragon because they mention this is kind of like Kyoto, and he goes, "Yeah, it's kind of like that." That's the entire connection. Is that it's kind of like that story, and that makes him the Kyoto Dragon. Like I can't state enough how like no sense that makes. It's the most. It's even more reaching than Stone Soup because at least Stone Soup in hindsight, you're like, okay, I get it. I kind of understand how you got here. I also said Blackwall Greymon fights and loses. That's the only thing I said that was correct because
No, you said that the children fight the dragon and lose.
No, I thought that he would fight the Oh no, I said they team up with him.
Yeah, you say that the kids lose initially. Blackwall Greymon fights like them together and loses.
It also made a lot of sense that if Blackwall Greymon fought it alone, he would lose.
Yeah.
But I guess I can't claim that one as a free victory.
It's a legendary Digimon, so.
It's Ho-Oh.
Yeah, basically. Probably be stronger though.
No, you can't be stronger than Ho-Oh. It grants wishes. Can't beat something that grants wishes unless you wish to win.
What differences did you notice? Do you think they were justified?
Let's see. My notes here. First of all, that TK believes that they won because the bad guys couldn't evolve, and that freaks me out a bit. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this last episode. I might have. I think of Sylphiemon's voice being Gatomon and Killamon's laid over each other is the worst thing. It's terrible. I hate it. I know what they're going for, but they so don't match this small cat voice and this really heavy like dinosaur voice. Neither of them match the like I don't know teenage boy / girl body that it ends up in, and it doesn't make any sense why it's making these noises. And I don't know if I complained about that before. I don't even know if that's because you're thinking in the terms of like of Japanese voice acting. I wouldn't really know the difference. But yeah, it's something that really bothered me for a while. And let's see, Azulongmon's a different name, and he has this really whiny like voice. It's not like cool at all or serious. He seems like I've written down here that he sounds like an accountant, like playing D&D.
Oh yeah.
Um, and mostly it's just all the stuff that the show makes up, and like the stuff that it makes up, like being in limbo and talking to Genai, and just the ridiculous amounts of sass. Also, the word Holy Beast is not used, I noticed. They
Yep.
are, in fact, just the Mega Digimon, or I believe they are one time called the Guardians.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
no,
think.
the Harmonious Ones.
Wait, they're referred to as that?
At one stage, they are called the Harmonious Ones.
Oh, I thought they weren't referred to that until like Tamers.
I mean, it gets a reference. I've got it written down. I wouldn't have
Oh
made it
yeah.
up.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah, it's oh my god. There's the ones like, despite Davis, I wish you good luck.
Yeah, like he's not very nice, and he, for some reason, already knows their personalities.
He's so awful.
And yeah, and then and at one point he's also like, "Ah, yes, well, you must be Davis."
Why is he so mean? What did they ever do?
And he's very serious in the original, which is fair enough. He's a god basically. He is a
Yeah,
god of the digital world,
he
and
should
he's
be
just
serious.
100%.
So that's primarily what I noticed. It's just like, because most of the episode is him talking.
It's just mainly the dumb lines he says.
Oh, it's weird. It's so weird. Like, because you're meant to take him like super, super seriously, but he doesn't take himself seriously.
Yeah.
And like, you'd think he'd make jokes about like, oh, I'm really old, or these are the things I know about the digital world. But instead, it's like, you guys suck. You're the worst chosen children I ever chose. Also, I just realized in this episode it kind of implies that they are chosen by the holy beasts.
Which is kind of wrong because they're chosen by the homeostasis thing.
Is homeostasis a holy beast? It
No,
should be.
homeostasis isn't a Digimon, I think they said. They're just a thing. I think they're above the holy beasts. I can't remember. I don't think it's actually explained what they are, unless it's in the novel, because I don't know.
How many times have you read the novel?
Never.
18? 20?
Never, because it's in Japanese. I mean, there are translations available, but like I'm busy. I will at one point read them.
I physically cannot believe that you haven't read it. There's something about that feels wrong.
I've read the Princess Karaoke chapter, but only because they changed that episode to be when Togemon actually evolves. And instead of it being Metal Greymon defeating Shogun Gekomon, it's Lilymon.
What you're saying is they changed it to be correct.
Yes, it's because I remember complaining about it, and then someone said that it was in the novels they fix it and make that the episode where Lilymon shows up for the first time.
So yeah, I think that about covers it.
Yeah.
The worst episode of Digimon that's ever been made thus far.
Oh, and what rating did you give the second one a rating?
Oh, I did not. I guess it was a 6. A lot of stuff didn't make sense, but a lot of stuff, some stuff that needed to be explained got explained. What didn't get explained is, what are the Holy Stones actually doing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got replaced pretty quick, so I guess they weren't amazingly like. I mean, they weren't replaced immediately, but the contingency was put in place to fix it.
Well, I gave it a 7 out of 10 because there's too much talking and there are like also dumb lines in the dub, but that doesn't reflect my grade of it. And I feel like the explanations are very like delayed, and I just feel like it was just too much talking. And this is a kid show, and like 8-year-olds do not have the attention span to listen for 15 minutes. It just, I feel like they could have done explained it in a better way that wasn't basically a verbal wall of text. Now that we've seen all the children get their Jogris forms,
yep.
Which one is your favorite out of Paildramon, Sylphimon, or Shakurmon?
I like Paildramon the most by a long way, just because it is most clearly like that's what the combination of the two of them would look like.
And who had the best episode?
The best
best evolution episode. I guess not Shakurmon.
God, I don't think the Sylphimon one was that great.
I like the Sylphimon one. It had more Dark Ocean.
It's tough because I like the Dark Ocean stuff, but they were fighting a sunflower.
Yeah.
Blossomon,
your design is not that great.
I don't know. You know what, I'd probably no, because it was the first one. I'm actually gonna give it to Paildramon. It was more entertaining because I was actually taken by surprise.
Right.
It kind of got me.
And what about the resolution between the character conflict? What do you think's better? Quick, like we had in Paildramon and Sylphimon? Well, I guess Paildramon's not necessarily quick, but Sylphimon was very, there was confrontation in the episode, but then it was resolved, and then the activation happened, and then the evolution. And then there's Long, which is Iori, and Takaru, which is them struggling for a few episodes prior to actually evolving.
I definitely prefer it take a little while, but the problem with that is that what I want is for it to take a while and then have like a satisfactory resolution, but it never does.
There were too many evolutions in the episode for them to actually give you satisfaction. They had to evolve all the Digimon, remember?
Yeah, it's a bit of an issue.
What do you think of the Digimon that were introduced in this episode? Tapiamon or Bakumon?
I think it's really cute. I mean, like,
So
it
cute.
feels like a different Digimon that's missing its tail. Like, it doesn't feel like a design that should have that. It feels like they designed two Digimon and one just has legs. I think because of Mammothmon. Like, it feels like it should be a thing.
I love him so much. Like, he's so cute. He's a little elephant. He's a little elephant baby. I like him. What about Shakurmon?
I hate. You know what? I know what it's meant to be, and if it was in out of context, I think it looks great. But the context you have to consider it in is this is those two Digimon put together, and they don't look good, and that's a problem. What I want is this really stylish combination, and I think that they did a really good job with Paildramon, like a perfect job with Paildramon. Then with Sylphimon, they did a fine job considering what they had to work with was a tiny cat and a giant griffin, or whatever it is. And then this one, they just gave up. Like, they didn't care.
And what about Qinglongmon or Azulongmon?
It's the best. It's one of the best designs in this show. It's so good. It's just really cool. It is, and what's really important I think about it is that it is at its core very, very Digimon design, where you can't say that about a lot of Digimon you can say that about a lot of Digimon designs, but I think a lot of the time you're gonna be like, oh, is that like a Pokemon design kind of? This isn't that. It has all the Digimon stuff, which is like weird platings on its face and the chains and stuff, but like it still looks good. Which a lot of them feel overdone. It's really impressive that it managed to find that balance. It's really good. It felt like they put a lot of effort into that. I'm proud of them.
Yay.
All right, everybody, join us for the next episode of Bungo Stray Dogs, a very Digi Christmas.
I want to watch that. Or Holy Night, large assembly of Digimon.
And Draymon Power.
Or everyone, move out. Yeah.
Yeah.
The show notes will be linked in the description. And thanks to our Patreon supporters, Stevie Patamon, who you can follow on Twitter, Steve Vmon, Wu Qinglong, who you can follow on Twitch, twitch.tv, WUQINGLONG, Metal Mamimon, Joe, Penguin Mage, Anime Guy, who you can follow on YouTube, Anime Guy Kurosaki, and then the number 1, Chuckmon, Sam Krieger, Ishpaul Banba, Hiro Alato, and Jason Morosky. Thank you for listening, and also thanks to Mac for our awesome present, because that was great, and I'm very happy, and thank you.
Thank you very much, always appreciated.
So we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.